Casey, we have good reason to believe that Carl's dead and that you had a hand in burying him under your apartment.
You guys know how big this man is, right?
You didn't do it alone, though. We have reason to believe you and Leroy took care of him after Leroy killed him in your apartment, and that you helped Leroy bury him beneath that crawl space.
Those are some pretty sick allegations, you know?
On April 1st, 2023, law enforcement in Aurora, Colorado received a call telling them that 29-year-old Casey Bach had just confessed to her neighbor about a horrific crime. According to Casey, her boyfriend, Leroy Crawford, murdered his friend, Carl Beeman Jr., and buried him, with Casey's help, in the crawl space of Casey's condo. At first, the story seemed a little unbelievable to the police, but when they confirmed that Carl had not been seen by anyone for at least a year, they immediately started an investigation. Fortunately for them, Casey already had warrants out for traffic citations, so bringing her in for an interrogation was very easy. As for Leroy, he was already in jail on an unrelated charge.
Hello, it's Casey, right? My name is Detective Chamberlain. And this is Detective McDonald on major crimes. Okay. I understand that this probably is a little shocking, with everything going on. I'm sure you didn't expect. Okay, and we're going to explain it to you, all right? But we are going to have some questions for you, okay? Do you understand that you do have a warrant for your arrest? It's like a little traffic warrant. Okay. I just want to make sure that you understand that. We do record all our interviews, so obviously, we see cameras and stuff. I mean, we all have cameras these days. I just want you to understand that as well. Because we do have you here and we're going to ask you questions about a crime that might have occurred, I do have to read you your rights before I talk to you, okay? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're under arrest. It just, because they put handcuffs on you, they brought you over here to headquarters, we have to go through that formality, okay? Have you ever been through that before?
No.
Okay. Well, we have a form, all right? And I just read directly from the form. That way there's no issues with what we're talking about, okay? So what I want to make sure first is that I have your name correctly. Is it C-A-S-I-E and then B-O-C-K?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I have your birthday of 1/14 of 94.
118.
118, okay. We'll go ahead and fix that. I think we had it two different ways in our system, so it's 118. All right. Okay, cool. Is this mom maybe?
It's a text message.
Okay, would she be sending you a message? Or would she call you? Can we check?
She probably called. Yeah, you can check.
Okay. Is that okay if I just check to see who it is? That way, because we don't want to miss mom, obviously, right? Here, I'll let you look at that real quick. Is there a way just to open it so we can see if it's mom? No?
Didn't see what.
Oh, well, make sure. Make sure I want to make sure we're not missing your mom, okay?
No.
Okay.
I feel like
She called you. Okay. All right. Because obviously we have that concern about making sure that your kids are taken care of, okay? So we're back to the date of birth, which is the 18th. Today is the 4th of April. I'm going to go ahead and read these to you, okay? This sounds like a silly question, but do you understand English?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you read English?
Yes.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney prior to questioning and have your attorney present during questioning if you so desire. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you free of charge prior to questioning. Do you understand these rights? With these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
Depending.
Well, I mean, it's your choice, so you can say whatever you would like.
So far, I don't mind.
Okay. Can I check yes? And keep in mind, that goes into my next point here. All right. It says you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make statements. Okay. All right. Can I have you sign right here and put the date? It's April 4th, 2023. Thank you. And I'm going to sign too, okay? All right, Casey. Like I said, we can explain to you everything that we have going on, okay? I would ask you, I'd kind of like to open it up to you. Do you think that there might be a reason that you would have some detectives talking to you like this, asking you questions? No? Is there nothing you can think of at all?
I know that my children's father got arrested by Arapahoe County and is getting charged with charges that he did not commit. And I know that I live next door to National Security and they have been drilling holes in my walls and spying on me. And I know that Aurora is not the kindliest for police brutality, making up stuff. I've been dealing with this for about a year. I'm a Colorado citizen, like born and raised here. This is my first time ever in Aurora, and it has ruined my life.
Okay. Has anyone treated you poorly today?
No.
Okay. Everybody's been respectful.
I've been respectful and just trying
Great.
to get over with this.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Well, I'll just start by laying it out like this. We are part of the major crime section. Okay, we handle a whole gamut of crimes to include missing persons cases. There's been some information that we've received, and we have a search warrant for your apartment. We have a search warrant for your kind of part of your building as well. Yeah, I'll kind of start by asking, who do you normally leave your kids with, or who do you?
I don't have anybody.
You don't have anybody? Okay. Is there somebody that you've left your kids with in the past?
Well, yeah, but
Okay. Who is that?
my mother.
Your mom. What about anybody locally or any friends of your
I don't
kids?
have anyone locally. My children don't have any friends here. I don't have any friends here. I keep to myself.
Mm-hmm. All right. So there's nobody that your kids stay with every once in a while or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Is there any reason somebody would tell us something like that?
I got a job a few months back. My daughter did have a friend at school, and I knew that she lived in the same apartment complex. So I walked up to this lady and asked if she could help me because I needed a babysitter.
Okay.
We became friends, and somebody broke her window, I'm guessing, here a few days ago, and she thinks it's me.
Okay. Why would she think it was you?
Because I just told her a few days prior, as I seen all these undercovers around two days.
Oh, you told this person. Okay.
And I told her to
What's
stay
her
away
name?
from me and my children.
Okay. What's her name?
Sierra.
Okay. So why did you tell Sierra to stay away from you?
Because I caught her in a lie.
And what was that? What was the
Something
lie?
as simple as she wasn't in the back of her car when I seen her in the back of her car. If you're gonna lie about one thing, what are you lying about?
What do you mean by that? She wasn't in the back of her car.
I seen her in the back of her car.
Okay.
And this day there was a bunch of undercovers around outside. Like I've been going through a lot for a year. Like I said, I'm not naive to what's around me, and I'm not naive to the world trying to set people up either. I'm just trying to keep me and my children safe.
And I understand that might be difficult. The father of your children, who is that? You said he's currently arrested. Can you tell me who that is?
Mr. Crawford.
Okay. And how long has he been in custody?
Almost a year now.
Yeah, I imagine that's very hard. We're not trying to make light of the situation. We're not trying to insult you. We're just trying to get some background, okay? And I'm just trying to have a conversation with you so I can get an understanding about you, okay? And I promise I'm going to get to the point here, all right? But I'm just trying to get some background information on you, and that way we can have a good conversation about this, all right?
Some background about me. Would you like
Well,
to know the background?
Because I've never
about me?
met you before. That's why. And to have a conversation with you, I have to ask questions about you. Okay, so let's kind of back up to what's happened with you and Sierra over the past, I don't know, a couple weeks or whatever when you told her. Was there any specific, other than you saw these undercovers, was there any specific incident that made you feel like that, or was it just her being in the back of her car?
No, it was just her lying about being in the back of her car.
Okay. And that upset you because you thought there were police around the
No, there
apartment?
were police around.
Okay.
There was undercovers all over, and I didn't understand. And I don't know why she would lie to me about not being in the back of her vehicle when I, clear as day, was right behind her and seen it.
And why did that worry you?
Because I don't like being lied to, for one.
Okay. I mean, anything else? Did you think she was like working with the police, or did you think, I mean,
Kind of. The only reason the girl puts stuff in the back of her car is to move car seats so all 4 children can fit in her vehicle.
when you say all 4 children, you mean?
My children.
Casey is absolutely right to assume that Sierra, her neighbor, was working with the police, but not until after Casey had accused her of doing so. After Casey told Sierra about her crimes, Sierra contacted KJ's mother, who then contacted the police.
How many times did she take your kids? Or
A few different times.
okay. Did they stay over there a fair amount?
Sometimes.
Was that when you were working?
I didn't work there long, so.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to shift gears just a little bit. As I mentioned before, we have a search warrant for your apartment. Okay. Do you have any idea why we might have a search warrant for your apartment? Do you think there's anything that we may find in your apartment? Anything that would be very alarming or suspicious?
I have a meth pipe in my bedroom.
We're not worried about
I have 2 guns that I legally own.
that. Yeah.
I have nothing else in my house.
We're not worried about that either. Okay. If you were lawfully allowed to possess a firearm, then that's not
I'm more so worried about my dogs that I feel like you guys are going to shoot.
okay. Well, they seem to be doing just fine. Okay. I don't think you have to worry about that. All right. And I don't see any issues with your dogs getting back to you either. Okay. You don't need to worry about some of those things. So, our concern is that it sounds like you may have made some statements about somebody being buried in your apartment. Okay. I'm gonna cut to the chase. Okay. That's why we're here. That's why we ended up having a search warrant for the apartment. We also understand that the circumstances seem a little bit odd, which is why we're trying to be very accommodating to you. We're going to make sure the kids are taken care of, like all those things. We didn't just, SWAT team didn't just blow the house open or anything like that. We understand that it's kind of an odd situation. So that's why we're kind of, going about it the way that we are.
There's statements of what now? Of I've buried?
Not necessarily that you have buried, but we have heard that you made statements that there might be somebody buried in your apartment. More specifically, there's like a crawl space under your apartment.
There is a crawl space. I've locked it because I'm terrified of that.
Okay.
There's people who go under there all the time just messing with me and my kids.
Okay.
It's kind of scary.
Okay.
A backstory on me is in Arvada, I had doors kicked in my faces. I was almost killed by a Banditos biker. I came,
I'm sorry.
that's why the arrest warrants, those all happened in this same time of my life. Okay, I'm running. I ran to Aurora so nobody would find me as this man's about to get back out of prison.
Is that Mr. Crawford?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I
You're
didn't.
fine.
I mixed up what we were talking about. That's the person who was in this Bandito. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Oh, okay.
It was,
Okay. Well, let's talk about the crawl space a little bit, okay? Because specifically, that's what's come up. You said you put a lock on it.
yeah,
When did you put a lock on it?
months back.
Okay. Do you know how specific? I mean, I know that it's kind of hard to say whether it was
No.
December or whatever, but
I think it was 2 months after I moved here.
when did you
So,
move?
I moved here in February
February of which year?
last year.
Okay, so not 2 months ago.
No,
Okay.
yeah,
When you lived here, who was staying with you?
just me
Just you?
and the kids.
Okay. Did you called him Mr. Crawford, and I understand. Does he go by Leroy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did Leroy stay there?
No,
Never?
no.
Okay. Did you ever have anyone else who stayed there? Just, and I don't mean necessarily living, but maybe coming and going.
No, like I said, I've been trying to stay low key.
Okay. Just for my clarification, can I show you a couple pictures and you can just tell me that I'm talking about the right people?
Sure.
Okay. Well, since we talked about,
Sarah.
okay.
Leroy.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right track, all right? That we're not mixing up people or anything. Obviously, you and Leroy have documented history together. So, I mean, that was pretty apparent. And I just want to make sure that we're not just completely off base and talking to the wrong person, okay? When you put this lock on your crawl space, why, you said that there were things that made you afraid. Why specifically put a lock on it? And how do you access that?
How do I access?
Yeah, we haven't been into your apartment, so we don't know what it looks like. How do you actually access that crawl space?
There's a cutout in my closet.
Okay, the closet of your bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, and was that always like that? Was it?
Yeah.
Because again, I have not been in your apartment.
I
So.
put padlocks on it.
Okay.
There was certain situations of people standing right next to the crawl space entrance from the outside of the house.
You mean the entrances that are on the outside of the building?
Yeah.
Because you can access it from the outside, right? Like,
Yeah.
Can you describe that for me?
Well, it wasn't locked. The public had access to it, and then my house is the first house, and then boom, there's this door that's unlocked, and that's my house. So I'm saying is the public could get into the crawl space and get into my house that I knew of.
So I could, from the outside, get into
Yeah.
the crawl space and
Like
come
that.
into your room. Oh, yeah,
So I
that
put
does seem,
padlocks on
that
it.
seems very unsafe to me.
Yeah.
So just getting further into our search warrant, and I know I keep kind of edging towards this crawl space and everything. Our warrant does include going into the crawl space. Would this be Mom? Okay.
She said close.
Pegs? Okay. I'm okay with you answering. Right?
Is that Mom?
It is.
When Mom comes over to get the kids, we need your mom to get both dogs as well because animal control is too busy and too full to take your dog. So I have to get the kids and the dogs both.
You can talk to it. It's okay.
Which is way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Hey.
You can talk.
Hey, they said I could call you. The kids are getting picked up. Cody's picking them up. He'll
Okay.
be there.
Okay, can Cody, can I leave some numbers with you? They can't, I need somebody to take the dogs.
You need somebody to do what?
I need someone to take my dogs, so, if I can give you Sean's number, Sean can take the dogs with the leash, even if Cody just temporarily grabs them.
Fonz. All right. Fonz is a friend.
Sean who helped me move the dresser, biker Sean.
All right. He'll take the dogs.
Yeah,
Give me that number, please.
We're working on somebody for the dogs.
can
Will it not be Mom?
Mom can't have. So I tried, the first officer let me try to call my friend Sean. Sean can take the dogs.
Okay. Are you just waiting for Sean to call you back?
I was gonna give my mother his number.
Okay. Yeah, do that. And then I just need to know because I got a bunch of those guys waiting out there. They were going to call animal control, but if we don't have to do that, let's not do that. Okay.
Okay.
I'll step back in a second.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and get Sean's number, and then you can give that to her. Okay.
Mom, Sean. Of course I don't know.
Did you say Sean?
Yeah, can I? Okay. Do you have a pen and paper?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let me read that back to you.
Yeah, there's another one though.
Okay.
I usually get a hold of him on Facebook. His last name. Yeah.
And it's Sean.
Yeah.
Okay, the other phone number?
All right, go ahead and give that phone, and then we're gonna have to wrap.
And that was 720?
Yeah.
And let me read that back.
Yeah. Mom, I gotta go.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see if Cody can reach him.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Okay, sorry to cut that off, but we're obviously we've got to kind of stay on track here. Okay. So we were talking about this crawl space, all right, the one that you put the lock on. Basically, we have some information that there might be somebody buried in there. Okay. Where do you think we would be getting that information?
I'm guessing a female who thinks I also broke her windows, or the NSA across the street, or the girl upstairs who's drilling holes down and spying on me and my children and taking every single constitutional right away from me.
Okay. Well, why would they say that?
Dude, why do people do a lot of things they do?
If I had an answer to that question, I'd probably be a rich person, right?
I don't know why they're doing this. Most females don't like me because I'm prettier than them. So maybe one of her nigger boyfriends liked me and she didn't like that.
Well, in that case, we'll just cut to the chase. Like we're gonna go into the crawl space. Are we gonna find anything in there?
Not for me, no.
Okay, you say not from you. Would we find it from anybody else?
I've never been inside the crawl space. I have no association with the crawl space besides that there was two men standing right next to the entrance of the outside. And the entrance to my house is right there too. I locked the crawl space because I was scared. Okay, like I said, when I moved here, I had banditos looking for me. I've had all sorts of people that have made me scared. I'm not just gonna sit there and that's why I moved to Aurora. Like I said, I'm trying to stay low. I didn't let anybody know where I lived.
According to Casey, everybody is trying to ruin her life, when in fact she's been doing a pretty good job of doing that herself. When this interrogation took place, Casey had several children, was unemployed, and was struggling with drug addiction. Casey actually used to work for a successful company and was building a promising future for her children and herself. But not surprisingly, her downfall had nothing to do with the make-believe banditos, spies, or the so-called strangers that were sneaking into her crawl space. The real culprit was substance abuse. And in the interrogations and court appearances that were held later on, it becomes very clear that Casey is a very different person when not under the influence and struggling with addiction.
How about this? Can I show you another picture, and maybe you can tell me if you know this person? Okay.
KJ.
KJ? Okay. Do you know his... I recognize the name KJ. Do you know what his first name actually is?
Carl.
Carl. Do you know his last name?
Beeman.
Okay. How do you know KJ?
Me and Leroy used to stay with him a few years back when we were homeless.
Okay.
Him and Leroy were best friends.
They were best friends?
No, they are best friends.
When was the last time you saw KJ?
I don't know. The day of court.
Which day of court?
It was when I was granted temporary full custody of my children. That was the first time I seen KJ in a while. He walked in with Leroy.
Okay, how long ago was that? When do you think?
I don't know, I was still in my old apartment. So, June of 2021?
So the last time you saw him was in June of 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You said him and Leroy were best friends.
Yeah, they've been friends. I was told for like 12 years.
Okay. Have you heard from or seen KJ recently?
Mm-hmm. I know that my neighbor, my old neighbor, she said something about he came up missing.
When was that?
I've heard. I don't know. She told me this probably like 8 months ago, I feel like, a year ago.
Where was that neighbor?
Where's the neighbor?
I'm gonna set this off. Yeah, we're gonna just put it on silent, okay? Since we got your mom taken care of. I'm sorry. Wait, was that in this current complex, the apartment that you're in now?
I mean, yeah.
But so the neighbor there said he was missing.
My old neighbor from Arvada, yeah.
From Arvada said that they thought he was missing. Did KJ ever stay at your current apartment?
No,
Did he ever have any interaction with your kids?
no.
Okay. Did your kids know KJ or Carl?
We were just talking about Uncle. You know him as Uncle KJ.
Uncle KJ?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it surprise you to hear that one of your kids made a comment saying that they don't see him anymore and they miss him?
Would it be surprising?
Yeah.
I mean, no, we don't see him anymore.
Okay. Do you know what happened to him?
No,
You have no idea what happened to him.
no.
Okay.
I'm
And
guessing that means he's not found.
him and Leroy, you said were best friends initially, and then you said they are best friends,
Well, Leroy's been in jail for a year.
right? Since what?
September.
September. That's in Jefferson County. Is that right? Okay. Before Leroy was in jail, was KJ still around?
That I'm aware of, yeah.
Okay. And then after, well, when KJ went to jail, did you see him anymore?
After what? I'm sorry?
After Leroy went to jail, did you see KJ anymore?
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen KJ since, like I said, that court date.
Okay. And I'm not fishing for other cases or anything like that, but did Leroy and KJ, did they commit crimes together? We don't have to be specific. I'm not trying to create any other cases or anything like that. But did they do things like that together?
I don't know.
What happened with their relationship?
I don't know.
And how often before you didn't see him? How often did you see him? Like before he went missing or you never saw him again? What was the frequency that you saw KJ?
KJ lived in Arizona.
Okay. Did he come back and live here?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, again, just jumping right to it. I mean, did Leroy and KJ have some sort of falling out, some sort of argument?
I wouldn't know that. I know that I was surprised to see KJ in court with Leroy, just because KJ didn't live out here.
Mm-hmm. When was that?
Like I said, that was July, June-ish of 21.
21.
I got into domestic violence with my children's father. There was a protection order, so I don't know what his life was like. I tried to stay away from him at that time too.
From Leroy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That our concern is that we have not been able to locate Carl. Okay. And some of the information that we've gotten said that he was at your staying or came around to your apartment several months back, quite a few months back, and that he and Leroy had a close relationship with each other. They were friends, and that there may have been some sort of altercation between the two of them. And we're very concerned about KJ's whereabouts.
I mean, I never allowed KJ in my house.
How come?
KJ never knew where I lived. I didn't want anybody to know where I lived. The world's just shown me a pretty ugly side. Can't really trust anybody.
Well, and I know I keep kind of like asking some of the same questions, all right, but I'm just trying to get an understanding for all this. Were KJ and Leroy arrested together? Okay. You don't remember, you don't know, you don't remember.
I don't know. I wasn't aware of anything.
Do you ever remember seeing KJ drive a car?
I know his cars because when he used to live here,
What did he drive? Can you describe it for me?
it's yellow was his girlfriend.
Do you remember what license plates they had on? I don't mean a number. I just meant like the state.
Well, seems that he came from Arizona. I'm sure it was probably an Arizona plate.
And I'm just asking because that would stand out a little bit, like an Arizona license plate in Colorado. It's an
But
understanding.
then he had the Xterra in 2014 when we stayed with him.
Here.
So, yeah. So
Was that in Arvada?
It's like Kipling area, like way deep Kipling, in Mississippi. But I don't know. I'm saying that he could have potentially still had his old license plate. I don't know. I know I have my Florida license plate.
Is it on your car?
No,
Not that it really matters.
it's not on my car.
No. Well, and again, I hate to just beat around the bush. I was hoping that, we could kind of talk about this a little bit more, but our concern is that KJ may have been killed and that Leroy might have had something to do with it, might know something about it, something along those lines.
So it sounds like Arapahoe's trying to pin more murder charges on my children's father
No, it doesn't have
for his best friend.
It's Jefferson County, and this has nothing to do with Jefferson County.
Jefferson County isn't pressing the charges of the murder of the man who's still alive that Leroy supposedly shot.
The attempted murder. It's Jefferson County that has the case. But I spoke with the detective today. But that being said, they don't have anything to do with this, okay? And we are merely just we are doing our very best to, if Carl's still alive, we would like to know where he is. If he's not, we would also like to know where he is. From what we've heard, there's a chance, and it's clear what I'm asking here. We're talking about your crawl space. We had information that he might be in the crawl space.
So the people who here recently have been under my crawl space and been playing frequencies that me and my children have heard and scaring the living daylights out of us. Like, is anyone going to look at that then?
Well, as I mentioned, we have a search warrant, and we are going to look under there. Okay. Right now, what we're doing is we're trying to make sure your dogs are okay, and we're trying to make sure your kids are okay. All right. So that's kind of our primary focus before we start digging around in there. But I'm talking to you because that could assist us, and that could preempt a lot of the I don't want to say destruction, but invasive work that we would have to do to go look at the crawl space. So these are obviously pretty specific allegations. We didn't just make this up. Okay. And that's why I'm being straight with you. I'm showing you these pictures. I'm asking you all this information directly. Okay. When we open the crawl space up, what are we going to find in there?
No, I've never been under there.
Okay. Do you know if Leroy ever went under there? Would anyone else, would KJ have had a reason to be under there?
I don't even think KJ knew where I lived.
Okay. I guess I would ask then, and I don't have the direct information what the child said, but they obviously said they were missing Uncle Carl, which you mentioned. Would that have been at a time before you lived in the apartment that they were used to seeing him around, or?
No, it's not. It's never been a frequent thing that KJ's been around.
And I understand young kids. Sometimes kids say.
He's just an awesome person, dude. Even my children remember him for quite a few different reasons.
Okay. So would you call your relationship with between you guys close? Obviously close enough that your kids like him.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. And it's not strange to you that he's just vanished, gone off the face of the earth?
I didn't know he was gone off the face of the earth. I don't keep track of my children's father's people.
Okay, well, you just said you hadn't seen him for this amount of time.
He's not my friend. He's not my friend.
But he's, as I mentioned before, he's close enough that your kids call him Uncle KJ.
Because he's my children's father's best friend.
Okay, I understand that. I'm just trying to connect.
I don't have friends in my life, so that means my children don't have people in theirs. So when a big fat man comes around and makes my children laugh, and dad's laughing with them, and they talk about and reminisce about times from 20 years back, like, of course my children are going to remember that.
So they see Dad happy, and they see Uncle KJ happy, and they
People don't visit us at our home. People have never visited us, so the very few people that have, my children remember.
So he did visit you at your home.
But now we're talking about 2020, dude. Like,
Okay, we keep going backwards. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
I can't keep
my
those two straight.
my children haven't seen him in a while. It was never anything frequent because he lived in Arizona with Jess.
Mhm.
I don't know much else. I know that he was here for a few different court dates for Leroy, and that's all I really know. I don't really know anything.
Well, I'm hoping that we get the situation squared away with your dogs, and we can get through this. We'll obviously, get going with this process. Do you have any questions? Follow up, Jason?
Why would KJ be with Leroy at some court dates?
We had the best friend.
So he was supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
He was the co-defendant with him.
What's a co-defendant?
He wasn't charged with the same crimes as Leroy.
No, court dates of me and Leroy's domestic violence.
Okay, so these weren't cases Leroy had picked up.
No, there were cases of me and Leroy.
Okay. Casey, we have good reason to believe that Carl's dead and that you had a hand in burying him under your apartment.
You guys know how big this area is, right?
You didn't do it alone, though. We have reason to believe you and Leroy took care of him after Leroy killed him in your apartment, and that you helped Leroy bury him beneath that crawl space.
Those are some pretty sick allegations, man.
Tell me about it. We have very good reason to believe that. Like Detective Chamberlain said, we've got a search warrant. We're going to go in there and we're going to be finding out the truth.
The truth.
If Carl's in there,
My children's father is looking at homicide for a man that's alive. And Sierra helped me look at the papers. And it looks like when Leroy was sitting in this jail, when I couldn't find him anywhere, that Aurora did some pretty sketchy stuff. Because nothing on that case looks right. And now I'm hearing this.
I don't know anything about that case, Casey.
I know, but like I do. And it's just
what
kind
we're
of
here
scary
today
that
for
now
is-
there's,
has nothing to do with that case.
I know, but
So don't bring it up. Stay focused. Okay?
I didn't help anybody bury KJ. I haven't seen KJ in forever. Leroy hasn't killed anybody at my house. I have children at my house.
Did Leroy kill Carl?
No. Why? How long has KJ supposedly been missing?
We're not going to tell you how long he's been missing. You've not asked us really anything about Carl, though.
That's what I'm asking, is how
It's
long
because
you guys...
you already know what's happened to Carl. You know he's dead. Okay? You haven't shown any concern since we started here that,
Yes.
that you care where Carl is, or do we have information on Carl? This man is like an uncle to your kids.
A man who has seen my children a few times.
You're the one who has described him as an uncle to your kids that makes them laugh. Okay?
I'm done talking.
He's like family.
I'm done talking. I was never allowed friends. because of the relationship I was in. I'm done talking.
Well, that's fine for right now, and we're gonna go ahead and go forward with our search warrant. All right. That being said, and you don't have to answer this at all, okay? You told Sierra that Leroy killed Carl, and that he was buried under your apartment. Plain and simple. That's why we're here. Okay.
I told her this.
That's why we're here. Okay. And again, you don't have to say anything. All right. But that has been what has led us to this point. And every time we bring up the fact that he has been murdered and he is under your apartment, you get emotional. All right. You have an emotional response to it.
I'm sorry, I got emotional when I see my children's father's picture. That's emotional.
All right. Again, you didn't have. We're gonna take a little break here. Okay.
A break. I'm done talking.
That's fine.
I'm done talking.
Okay, that's okay. And we're just gonna step out then. All right. We'll have an officer outside. We'll see if we can get you maybe like a drink of water or something like that. Okay. Keep this with us for a minute.
After this, the detectives leave Casey alone in the room for over an hour. When they finally return, they come with news that she isn't going to enjoy hearing.
I told you I'd give you some updates about your keys and everything. They are there. They're at the apartment, and we'll make sure that those get to you. Okay. It sounds like I think everything is squared away as far as your car, kids, the dogs. You know, I don't think we have any concerns there. Okay. Again, as we mentioned, you just have this traffic warrant that will get you processed, and hopefully that'll be that. Okay. Now, what I can tell you is we did make it into the crawl space, and we found more or less what we thought. Okay. And I understand you were a little upset with some of the things we were saying. But we would like to come back and speak to you and just not be confrontational, nothing like that. We just want to talk to you, okay? But as I mentioned, our other detectives were over there and they did go into the crawl space we were talking about and well, that appears to be what we found.
Okay.
Okay.
Now what?
Well, that's kind of up to you. That's why we're coming here to talk to you. And we're kind of to that point where obviously we're going to have an ongoing investigation, right? There's a lot of work for us to do. But now is your time. Okay? Now is your time to say your piece.
My piece?
To try to give us, because you're not going to have, it would be unlikely that you're going to have another opportunity to give us your side of the story.
I don't even know anything about this.
Okay.
How would I have to say my piece with what?
Well, let me just, if you don't mind me explaining this to you, can I just sort of lay it out for you?
Please.
So, and just to show you, you talked about people making things up and things being contrived and stuff like that. Well, here's the thing. We got all this information, enough to the point where a judge felt like we had grounds to write a search warrant for this crawl space. And lo and behold, we go in there and we find exactly what we were talking about.
And
Those are a lot of coincidences. And all this information, everything that we have, came from your statements. Okay?
Excuse me?
It all came from your statements that were made. That's how we got all of this. Okay?
But what statements were those?
You told somebody that TJ was buried in your crawl space. We didn't make this up. We don't.
No, I did not.
Well, we were told that.
Okay.
We were told that, and
You know what,
don't
man?
you think it? Hey, how about this? How about this? I'm just trying to explain to you how we got to where we got, and now we are where we feel like that we have located exactly what it was that we were questioning about. Would you like me to prove it to you?
No, I don't. I'm good. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. I know I've been being followed for a year and some pretty weird stuff has been happening left and right around me. And,
And Casey, here's the deal. We're trying to be very respectful to you because we don't think that you're the primary person involved in this. We don't. That's why we're being, for lack of a better term, we're being soft. Okay? Because we don't think that you are the person who created this whole mess. Okay? But we do think you know about it. And we do think that maybe you were somehow involved in getting this under here. So this is your opportunity to decide where we're going to go with this.
I don't know anything about this.
Okay? Well, that's the problem. You can't sit and tell me that you don't know anything about it when the whole way we got here was by you telling somebody that this is what happened.
I never said anything to anybody about what you were saying I did.
So by your assertion, somebody made up that you said that this person that you know as Uncle Carl was now buried under your crawl space, and we just go happen to find under that crawl space somebody who I am guessing is going to be Uncle Carl. That's all made up.
I mean, I didn't say that.
That's what you just told me. You just told me all that is made up.
No, yeah, all of that is made up because I didn't say that to
All right.
anybody.
Well, that's not made up.
What the hell is that?
You tell me. It's under your house.
That looks like two pieces of wood, dude. Like,
You're right. That you are absolutely
know
right.
what's
This
going
looks like
on.
2 pieces of wood. What is this?
Do I look like I'm a criminal?
Did we say that?
No,
We didn't say that, did we?
I'm not
We never-
saying you said
We
that.
never accused you of being a criminal. We haven't made any comments.
I would
on-
like my lawyer then.
That's fine. So I'm going to say my piece. You please don't say anything because you asked for a lawyer. We're going to get you booked down in our detention center. Okay?
Am I gonna
It's for your traffic warrants right now. All right. That being said, this investigation is going to continue. Okay?
That would be nice.
Do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay.
You made it clear she knows on the time.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
I don't have any questions for you. You have any questions for us?
Yeah, if you have any questions about the process, what's going to happen from here, I'm still happy to answer all of those for you. Okay.
Can I have your guys' cards?
Of course. I will go with you and your property. Okay.
I don't have one. Do you want me to grab one, or is this
It's
going to
just
be okay?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you good with that?
I'll put my name on it.
Yeah. I'm going to be the primary investigator, and Detective McDonald will be my partner. Okay. And yes, you can have that. This will go with you. We will be taking your cell phone. Okay. Your keys are at the apartment, and they will be brought to the jail to go on
On
your
the
property.
cell phone, can I just get a number out of it?
What?
Or can you guys get a number out of it for me so I can call them in the jail so they can bond me out?
Okay. What is the number? Who is it?
Babu is what it's under.
Okay. We can try to accommodate that for you. Okay.
He's my boyfriend, so he can help bond me out. for this.
Yeah, we can try to. Is there a passcode to get in your phone?
No.
Okay. No. Because we're lawyers. Okay. We'll try to speed this up for you. Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Though the interrogation ended here, it was clear that Casey still had a guilty conscience because only days later, she contacted the detectives to tell them the truth, or at least part of it.
All right, Cassie. Well, we were contacted by your boyfriend, and he told us that you would like to speak to us.
Yeah.
I just want to confirm that is correct, that you would like to speak to us. Okay. You understand that before you asked for an attorney, right?
Yeah.
And do you understand that all those rights still apply to you?
Yeah.
Okay. With that being said, would you like to speak to us now?
Yeah.
Okay. Just for the formality of the whole investigation, I know we went through this already. I'm not going to ask you the silly questions like, do you speak English and all that stuff. I am going to read you the rights again, just so there's no question about what we're doing here, okay? And you can probably understand kind of where we're coming from on that due to the gravity of the investigation. Okay. All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney prior to questioning and have your attorney present during questioning if you so desire. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you free of charge prior to questioning. Do you understand these rights?
Yeah.
May I check yes on that?
Yeah.
Okay. And with these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. All right, can I have you sign it again and put the date again? It's still the 4th of April, 2023. Yeah, right there. Yep. Thank you. And I'll go ahead and sign it too. Okay, Cassie, I'm sorry, Casey, I keep doing that. You reached out to us, all right, through your boyfriend, and you stated that you would like to speak to us. So what can we do for you? How can we help you? What you're able to say?
No, you probably can't help me. I just know that I don't want these charges placed on me because I did not do this.
Okay. That's fair. Does that mean
Did you look at my past by any chance?
I mean, we've looked
Around the time?
We've looked at your criminal history.
Okay. Did you get to see the pictures of what my face used to look like?
I mean, I've seen previous photos of you.
Of the black eye I had?
What are we getting at here?
What I'm getting at is Leroy had me in a very bad relationship with him.
Okay. We understand that there were numerous domestic violence incidents. We definitely understand that.
I brought Leroy back around. I don't know why, because I thought, I don't know, to try our family again. Which didn't work and good.
So when you say you brought him back around, what do you mean?
I brought him to my new house shortly after I moved in.
Okay. Is that on 2nd there where we were today?
Yes.
Okay.
There was one night he was talking about him and KJ were having problems, and that he thought KJ was a rat. It was working with cops and that it needed to be taken care of.
Okay.
And the next thing I knew, I was coming home from work. And when I got home, he was in my apartment. And KJ was already dead. In my bedroom. And he forced me to help him move KJ.
I'm sure this is very difficult for you.
No, I don't.
Do you know what had happened?
No. I know I seen a bag over KJ's head.
You saw one.
A bag.
A bag.
What kind of bag?
I don't know. It's just a bag. The white bags.
Like a white plastic sack.
Yeah. I don't know, like a white Walmart bag.
Like a grocery type bag? Okay.
You know, I've been
It's okay, take a little time.
I don't know, dude. I never thought that this would be my life. I never thought that anything that has unfolded in my life would be my life. But it is. And it's all from a man that I just should have stayed far, far away from.
Are we talking about Leroy?
I didn't understand. I told him I didn't want. He needed to do something else with this. This was my home and mine and the children's home that I didn't want. No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing what?
Because he told me, he's like, you're gonna help me put him down below. And I was like, no. I was like, no, dude. Sometimes it was the dumbest idea he ever had on top of just killing him.
Did he say how it happened? Was KJ staying at your house?
No. All I know is that they did still cats together.
And that's catalytic converters.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was around the time when I bonded Leroy out from Castle Rock.
Okay. So Leroy got arrested in Castle Rock?
Yeah.
And that was on a motor vehicle theft?
Yeah.
Okay. And you bonded him out?
Yeah. That's when I first got in contact with KJ because I didn't know who else to contact.
Was that to bond him out?
Yeah, to figure out what happened.
Okay.
Because I knew they were together.
So they were together in that incident in Castle Rock?
Yeah.
And then you bonded Leroy out. And then shortly after that is when we found KJ dead?
I don't even know what month it was, man. Literally, I do live next to national security. There are holes being drilled through my wall.
Okay.
On top of this, there's been other deaths that have happened in that house that I was not aware of. Like, I've been spiritually attacked for months. I sit there over the past year, and KJ's never been someone who's constantly been in my children's life, but my children bring him up, my children talk about him.
Well, so let's, and I hate to kind of come back to something really traumatic, but let's talk about, you say Leroy made you help move KJ down under
He
there.
couldn't move him by himself.
Okay,
I told him I didn't want to.
okay.
I tried to leave, he grabbed my arm.
So did you guys pick him up and put him down there?
He forced me to fucking drag him.
Drag him? Was there blood anywhere?
No, I didn't see any blood anywhere.
Do you see any weapons? Like anything at all? From knives to baseball bats or
I
anything?
mean, I have weapons all over my house.
Did any of them appear to have been used?
No,
Not even a blunt object?
no.
Battery. So this bag that's around his head, is it completely covering his head, like tied off around the neck or anything?
It was just there was that.
Where were you working when this, you said you'd come home from work, so where were you working at that time?
Our family tree service. I managed. I worked there for almost 4 years.
Okay. How did the cement and all that stuff get down there? I know we showed you the photograph. How did all that end up down there?
Because he thought it would be smart to cover up in cement.
Leroy did?
Yeah.
And how long did that take? Did he go and do that night? Or that day? Did he do it over the course of a few days?
I think he did it the next day.
Okay. Do you know where he got the supplies?
No.
Did he dig a hole? Did he?
He told me he dug a hole.
Okay. And then what?
No, I told him I refused to go back down there. This was his mess, and I didn't want to have anything else to do with it.
So did you ever go after dragging KJ into the crawl space? Did you ever go down there?
And I had to help move him.
Hey, Casey, look at me a second, okay? I know this is really hard. This is not easy, I know it. So take a breath, compose yourself the best you can, and just try to walk us through the whole event. From you coming home and finding what you found to...
Is this gonna help me any?
Well, you
That's
let me tell you this. You've made the decision to give us your side of the story. Okay? And that's a decision that you've made, and you've already started down that route.
yeah.
And I think what you've explained to us for a reason. Okay?
Because I don't.
You feel like it's not your fault what happened, right?
It's not my fault.
Well, then that's why I want you to explain in as much detail as possible what happened. If you feel it's not your fault what happened, that's what you're explaining to us, is what it sounds like to me.
That doesn't sound. That still sounds pretty. Okay.
Well, we will be 100% frank with you. The charge that we are charging tonight is not going to go away. Okay. That being said, it is so important for us to have your side of the story, because we will get a greater understanding of what actually happened and how involved you actually were. This is obviously a very serious situation.
I know it's serious,
So,
yeah.
I know.
At this point, Casey is facing the possibility of being tried as an accessory to felony murder. Accessory charges, depending on the severity of the crime, can result in life in prison, and Casey is aware of this fact, which is why she continues to give them information, hoping to weaken the extent of her criminal involvement.
So, and we don't want to lie to you. We could just lie and say, you can tell us this and everything will go away. Unfortunately, that's just not the truth. That's just not the truth. Okay.
But it's important for us to understand exactly what your role was.
I didn't want a role in it.
I know, but you ended up in it.
Yeah, because the man told me he'd hurt me if I didn't help him.
Okay, and this is what we're getting at, is these details are important. To know how you ended up in this awful situation that was not your doing.
Months prior, dude, Leroy put his hands on me. That's why we got in all of this. Was because he got back on drugs. And he hit me and I all up. I was scared. Dude.
We believe it. We believe that you were scared. We do. We believe you. We're not saying that you shouldn't have been scared. We absolutely understand. Did he make any statements to you, threats to you, anything like that when this was?
He hurt me if I didn't help him.
Okay. Was any of that ever sent through a phone call, phone conversations, anything like that? Okay.
Anybody over here? Kids here?
No.
Can we try our best? And I know this is difficult, but let's try to do a time, just a linear timeline of what happened that day. Okay? You had mentioned, and I'll help, okay? And if you correct me if anything I'm saying is wrong. You said that Leroy was upset because he thought KJ was snitching or ratting to the police. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Was that before all of this happened?
Yeah.
And you said that he said something like it had to be dealt with. I don't want to be putting words in your mouth, okay? So if I'm wrong, please correct me.
No, that's not at all what I said, man.
Okay, I thought you said something along those lines. Maybe I'm mistaken. So what did he say?
God, now I'm just like confusing myself. But I just know I didn't do this.
Okay.
I know that I was scared of a man who had just physically hurt me and it put me through mental and physical abuse for 10 years.
Okay.
When I tried to walk out of my house, he grabbed my arm.
This was the day that this happened?
Yeah, this was when I walked in my house and I seen what was up, which was KJ on my floor dead.
What part of the floor?
It was my bedroom.
Your bedroom. Okay.
You said he was on the bed, right?
No, I didn't say he was on the bed. This is why I'm like, I'm not trying to.
And we're not trying to put words in, just sometimes.
No, but I feel like you guys are trying to confuse me, and
No.
I'm not wanting to be confused. I just want to tell you guys what happened.
Okay.
And then I guess
We're not trying.
go spend more time in prison, jail, whatever it is.
We're not trying to confuse you at all. Sometimes we just get a few things mixed up
He
and we
made
just
me
try to
drag
clarify.
him from where my bathroom-ish area, that's where he was laying. It was like right in front of my bathroom-ish area.
Okay.
Dude, he had a bag over his head. He told me that he was gonna hurt me if I didn't help.
Okay. Now this may seem like a silly.
And I dragged him from that area to the cutout that was in my bathroom or my closet. And then I told him I was done, and he's like, no, you have to help me. I can't move him.
Can you walk us through what happened from there after?
Yeah, I helped pull him.
Down into the hole?
No, just over, because he fell. He fell.
Into the hole?
He fell out of the freaking closet, dude. He fell down. There was no hole. He fell. And he made me him.
In the dirt?
Whatever that shit was.
No, in the crawl space is what you're talking about, is that right?
So you were actually in the crawl space dragging him.
Was he down in there with you, helping drag him?
Yeah.
Because that had to have been pretty hard.
That's when I told him I was done. I was like, I'm done. Dude, I remember having to crawl over a KJ. I just remember not wanting to be there. Not wanting that to be my house.
Did he still have the plastic sack on his head when he was buried?
I don't know.
Do you ever know what happened to that sack?
I don't know what happened with that. I know that the next thing I do the next day Leroy came over with cement.
What
And
type of,
I didn't go down there. I didn't want to know.
what type of cement? Was it a? Okay.
Did he have his own tools with it? Like shovel or anything like that to do the mixing?
It's what he did.
Did he do construction?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had his tools from his construction.
Okay.
Did he bring a third party into this? It was just
Do you know if he told anyone about that?
Probably not. As you know, he's sitting there telling me that if I tell anybody, he'd kill me. So
Did you guys ever speak of it again?
how many? Did it take him just that one day to do the cement job on KJ? Or did it take multiple days?
it just took that one day. I remember, I don't know, a week or two after him and I got in an argument. And he started screaming outside that I was gonna go down for this too. And that it had opened, he said.
What had opened?
Referring to what?
And I didn't understand at first. And then he came back with another bag of cement.
Mm.
He said that it had cracked open and that he needs to cover it and I needed to let him in.
How frequently was he checking on KJ's burial spot to realize, that it had opened up?
I don't know.
He didn't check on it periodically though?
I mean, I'm assuming since he knew that it was cracked.
Was he living with you at this point in the apartment?
No.
How often would he come visit you?
Yes, but we fought so often.
At this point, did you have the locks on the crawl space?
No, that's when I put the locks on the crawl space.
You did that after all this?
When did Leroy get arrested after this?
I don't know, September?
So from September to now, has he been incarcerated?
Yeah.
Have you ever, and when did this incident occur?
I don't know, dude.
Do you know the month? Do you happen to know based on the arrest timeline?
It would be, so the incident that you spoke of in Castle Rock was in May, I believe. Does that sound correct?
Yeah.
May of 2022. Leroy was arrested in September of 2022. I'm not telling you this, I'm asking, does that sound accurate? Okay, so we're looking at a time frame between sometime in May of 2022 to September of 2022. Where in there, and we're not asking you to pick out a date on a calendar, okay? But where in there do you think would be the most likely time? Was it, that's all kind of summertime, but was it summerish? Was it getting cool? Was it, excuse me. Was it closer to when Leroy was arrested in Jefferson County? Was it closer to when Leroy was arrested in Castle Rock?
I don't really know. I want to say it was like a month after Leroy was arrested.
In Castle Rock.
Yeah.
So when Leroy goes away in September, we've got about 8 months to today that he's been locked up, right? Did ever in that time feel like you could report this to police and get clear of it yourself?
I don't know, man. not, I already had Aurora police talk to me and get attitudes with me because I'd call them and I wouldn't talk to them. Like, this whole year of me being there, I've been doing research and I've been, how crooked Aurora was. I was scared, dude. I'm scared of a lot of things in life right now, from our government to being put away forever to never seeing my children again.
I just wanted to ask a couple more detailed questions, and these might be difficult, okay, and I understand that. But obviously that's gonna help us in our investigation. Do you remember what KJ was wearing?
No.
Okay. Again, this might seem like a kind of a difficult question. Was he stiff?
Oh.
Was he still warm? Do you remember those things?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I remember him being blue.
Blue? His whole body?
His arm is what I remember.
Did you ever start to notice an odor? When people die, they tend to start to smell not the best. So I don't know if you ever noticed that, or did it not come through?
Never noticed anything.
Did any of your neighbors ever mention anything? What did you think happened when you came home and you saw KJ like that? Did Leroy say he did that? Did he? And I think I might have asked this, but so I apologize if I'm asking it again. But did he ever say how?
What did he say exactly? And when you say he said he killed him, what did he say?
They had to. They did it to protect us.
Did he say what that meant?
No.
Or did you take it to mean?
Dude, I don't, what did I take it to mean? Dude, I don't know. I know how screwed up my baby's daddy is. Okay, his father just died in prison because his dad's a murderer. Like, the dude is twisted in the head. I don't want to talk about this anymore right now.
Okay. We can go ahead and stop for right now. I'm sure this is very difficult. You have just like you did before, you have a way to reach out to us, okay? But we'll go ahead and call them and have them come grab you, okay? We really appreciate that. Go ahead. No, ask a question.
Am I gonna get a bond on this?
A bond will be set. So what has to happen is they will take you from here to Arapahoe County.
Like, my children just have nobody, dude.
Okay.
Nobody who's a decent human being. And I know y'all probably think I'm not a decent human being, even though I feel like I was mostly just tormented into this and persuaded
Casey,
or hurt me.
we've never made any comments on what type of person you are. Okay?
I know that I lied to you guys at first, so why believe me? I'm not dumb.
People lie to us a lot, and we understand why most of the time. Okay? So, like I said,
Look,
No.
I came out. If there's anything that you guys could do, not to drop this, but just, I can try to make it home to my kids, dude.
What I can tell you is,
Please.
I cannot make any promises. Every district attorney is assigned to one of these cases for us. And that district attorney will watch this case and be part of this case. She will know exactly what you've told us here today. So, and now she has a better idea, just like I have a better idea what your role in this case was. Okay? So when it comes time for all of this to come forward, that will be taken into consideration. Okay, that's the best I can tell you. Okay?
You can't tell me if a bond will be set tomorrow. You can't
It will
tell
be,
me.
the judge will set a bond when I see you. So
Yeah,
that
but
could,
that could be no bond.
it could be, but what I can tell you is the category of the level of crime that you're being charged with typically has a bond set. Okay? It's not a category 1 felony, which would not have a bond. All right, this is a category 4 felony, so it typically will have a lower bond, okay? But the judge will set that when you go to Arapahoe County. And that should happen probably tomorrow. Okay? All right, we're gonna go ahead and step out, and these guys are gonna help you get back to where you were before, okay?
Even though Casey is claiming that she's finally telling the truth, 3 months later, her truth changes again. With the assistance of her counsel, she asked to speak to law enforcement.
So I think you've probably seen me in court before. I'm one of the prosecutors on the case. I know Elsa talked with you kind of like you're here for a proffer. This is the main detective. You've met him before, Jeff. And I'm Lisa. I guess we've never introduced. I'm not supposed to talk to you without your lawyer. So we're going to kind of let you hear what you want to say today. And then, Jeff, maybe we'll have some questions. I mostly won't say too much because I'm not the investigator on the case. Does that all make sense? Okay.
Well, we were saying initially, we just give you another chance to kind of tell us about what happened that day. And then from there, we can ask some more questions.
I don't remember why KJ was coming over that evening, but KJ was coming over, and I didn't know it was coming over. All I really remember is that Leroy had a 9mm on him, and that when he seen my cameras, that KJ was at my door. He told me that I was going to do what he was telling me to do. I don't remember if it was that day or previous days, but he was talking about KJ was trying to set him up. They were both part of, I don't know, they both got in trouble, but KJ was trying to set him up. So I opened the door, and then the next thing I know, KJ had my 20 gauge in his hand.
Leroy.
Yeah. Did I say KJ?
You did.
Leroy had my 20 gauge. I don't know, the next thing I remember is KJ was in my bedroom. And Leroy, to me, it felt like it lasted for hours. My kids were sleeping, so it was probably, I don't know, 1 in the morning when KJ got there. I remember Leroy hit him with a hammer at one point in front of my bed. And then he told me to go get a bag. And he said that there was people outside watching the house for him. He ended up trying to use the bag on KJ, and KJ ended up getting out of it. Like I said, this lasted for hours. And the next thing I remember is he told me to go wait in the living room. Where I kind of just sat there. I was kind of scared because he said that there was people outside waiting for me if anything did happen. And then the next thing I know is it was getting time for like my kids to be waking up, and I walked in the bathroom or in my room, and in the bathroom he was pulling on something. I think it was a wire that was attached to KJ's neck. He told me that he was going to hurt me if I didn't help him after it was done. And I don't know. I had to help him slide the body out of the bathroom. He forced me to clean up all of the blood. And then I sat with that like that for probably 2 days until Leroy came back with cement. And that's when he covered up with cement. And that's pretty much all of it. Not pretty much, that's all of it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that's probably pretty difficult to go back through all that.
I've been going through it for about 5 months. Longer than that, because I've sat on top of his body for about a year. And I didn't know that there was things looking for KJ.
You mean like police or just
Yeah,
people looking for
just
it?
people that I guess his mom had something on Facebook. I never looked. I didn't want to look.
Like I said, I have no doubt that was very difficult for you and your family and all of that. So for you to come here and tell us all that today, I mean, that's really big. I can't imagine.
KJ's mother was, in fact, desperately looking for her son. After not hearing from him for over a year, she set up a Facebook page looking for any kind of tips, which is the reason why it was so easy for Sierra to get in contact with KJ's mother. After Sierra revealed what Casey had told her, KJ's mother contacted the police.
Now, if you don't mind, I obviously have some follow-up questions about some of the things that you said. You said that night KJ was coming over. Did you know he was coming over, or did Leroy say he was coming over?
I don't think either of us knew he was coming over.
Okay. Do you know how he got there?
I think from my Uber. I don't know. I don't think there wasn't a car there.
Okay. Had he been driving a car or anything like that? I mean, I know a long time ago we discussed it. But
They both stole vehicles. That's what they did. Either of them had vehicles.
okay. You said when KJ got there, Leroy saw him through cameras?
Yeah, I had cameras all around my house.
Okay. Is that like a web-based camera or like a recording camera? Or how did that work?
I had a Genie. So,
Was that the brand?
yeah.
So when Leroy saw that KJ was knocking at the door, what was his reaction?
He grabbed his pistol.
Okay, and is that you said the 9mm, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 9mm you guys took from me, I got that like a month before you guys arrested
Right,
me.
no,
So, he had his own 9mm. And he pointed it at me and he said I was going to do what he said.
So Leroy pointed a gun at you,
Yeah.
the 9mm,
Yeah.
and said, "You're going to do what he
So
says."
I answered this door.
So you answered the door for KJ.
Yeah, he told me to bring KJ inside.
Okay. Was Leroy hiding? Was he in the back? Was he?
No, he was hiding around the corner because they entered through my back door.
Okay, so because I've been in your apartment, there's the front door.
Yeah, no one ever came to my front door.
No one ever came to the front door, okay.
So it was the back door and it was
I just wanted her, if she could maybe draw, like, we've been in her
Oh.
apartment, but I just kind of want to know, like, what you mean, like, where he came in. Like, if you could kind of draw, like, if you're looking down on the ceiling, like, what it would have looked like as far as where he came in, where he was hiding.
back door.
Okay.
Here's my wall, here's my kid's room. Here's the hallway, which led to my room. He was right here. This is my front door.
Okay. And this is like where the couch and everything was?
Yep.
Okay.
Couch. Fireplace.
Okay, understood. So Leroy's hiding here. All right, and then KJ comes in this sliding door here.
Yeah, he told me to let him in and to lock the door behind him.
Okay. And then what?
And then I brought KJ in, I'm pretty sure. I was like, hey, do you want to smoke? And that's when I walked past Leroy, and Leroy had my 20 gauge in his hand.
Okay, so now at this point he doesn't have
He didn't have
the 9mm
He
anymore. He's
had
got a 20
he had
gauge
my
shotgun.
yeah.
And remind me, but that was also in the apartment, was it not?
Yes, that was mine.
Okay.
That's the one you guys have.
Yes. Okay.
And he brought KJ back, told him not to do anything stupid, and told him to get off his hands and knees.
So he's pointing the gun at KJ. Okay, and what is KJ doing when he's doing that?
Kind of just standing there, where his leg was with anger. And Leroy walked around and got behind him in the living room and told him to go back in the bedroom.
And is that your bedroom? The one that's all the way at the end of the hall? Okay. Okay. And I know this is probably really hard, okay? But after they went into the back bedroom, then what?
So I said, like, pretty much just like tormented him for hours.
Okay. Did you see any of that?
I seen him hit him with a hammer.
Where did he hit him?
I don't remember exactly. I don't know. I know that there was music playing.
Loud music or?
Yeah, like loud music playing.
Do you remember a song, like a specific band or a song or anything?
No, it wasn't anything of mine. I remember at one point Leroy was telling him, because they were best friends, the song was saying, I remember Leroy being like, oh, see, you're supposed to be my friend, or something. I don't know. I don't remember the song. I don't remember a lot that happened within those hours. I remember he hit him with a hammer.
Do you know, was that hammer still in the apartment when you searched it?
If I'm correct, it was on the back porch.
Okay.
It was a sledgehammer.
Oh, a sledgehammer, not like a.
No, it was like a mallet or
Was it heavy?
I don't know.
Like, I guess what I meant to ask, not so much was it heavy, but was it
It was like a little handle.
a little handle, not a big one? Okay.
Not like when you would like break up cement with.
Okay.
It was a little one.
Little handle. Okay. Did you hear KJ scream, yell, or anything like that?
No. They said the music was playing really loud, which wasn't unheard of for me and my kids. I played loud music ever since they were babies.
Okay.
That was a question I had. So your kids like my kids are very heavy sleepers. Are your kids pretty heavy sleepers or?
Well, they don't wake up. When I had kids young, so I always thought that if I kept the house a little bit noisier, in case I did want to have a party with children in there, they would still sleep. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't unheard of for me to play music.
Okay.
Is it okay? I'm being told she's really quiet, so maybe it doesn't sound like that's probably going to pick up a lot, but maybe we can move that closer. Is that okay?
And that will pick it up.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, that sound, the acuity in those is pretty good. So now KJ's in the back room with Leroy. You've got the music going. You mentioned that this is late at night. I mean, into the morning. The kids are sleeping. The music is going. And you mentioned that it was starting to be time. Well, I'm sorry. Let me back up before it's time for your kids to wake up. Did Leroy come and go out of the room, or was he back there the entire time?
I was back there all the time.
Okay. I'll ask first. Did you ever hear any gunshots?
No.
Okay. Did you ever? So when Leroy takes KJ back to the back room with the shotgun, did he have a hammer too?
No, I'm pretty sure the hammer was in with his tools, which was right there.
In the room.
Yeah.
So his tools were back there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hit KJ with the gun once.
Okay.
Before the hammer.
And what makes you think that?
I just remember that.
Okay. So you saw that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember where on his body?
No.
I guess I would ask what kind of, we're talking a shotgun, right? So it's got a stock and a barrel and everything. So when you think of hitting somebody
The
with their
butt
gun
of
like
it.
that, the butt of it.
Yeah.
So like a, well, maybe you could. I know you have the handcuffs on. Maybe you could demonstrate that for me.
I don't know. Like took it and hit him. I'm guessing probably in the face with it.
Okay. And then after that, was the door open or closed?
Closed.
Okay. So when did you see him hit KJ with a hammer?
Somewhere within those hours.
Okay.
Like I said, obviously I was really high.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. When I say tormenting, I mean like he was just talking a lot. I don't know.
Leroy was?
Yeah.
Okay.
To KJ.
Do you recall what kind of things he was saying?
I think he was trying to get out of him that KJ was working with the feds.
Okay. So Leroy thought that KJ was working with the government or the police or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know we even discussed this a while back, but what made him think that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Leroy kept a whole life away from me that I didn't know anything that didn't go on inside that house I didn't know about.
All right. So now that we've gone through that, and I'm sorry I had to back up a little bit there, but now the sun's starting to come up and kids are waking up.
Getting
Is that
close to waking up.
Okay.
I
So
walked back there and all I seen was KJ on the right side of my toilet, and Leroy had a wire wrapped around his neck and he was pulling on it from the bathroom, like my shower. It was wrapped around the shower.
okay. So KJ is being pulled around the neck with this wire, and that wire is wrapped around the shower head, the shower curtain,
Shower door.
shower door. Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what your shower looked like.
It was a sliding stand-up shower.
Okay. With a door, a
Yeah.
sliding door. Okay, so it's over the door. So at that point, did KJ look like he was still alive? No. All right. And what made, and I'm sorry, I know this is tough.
What made me think
What made
that?
you think he was dead? Or how did you know?
Because
he was
clearly that's what Leroy wanted that night, was to kill him. And he let go of it.
the wire?
Yeah. And all I remember was he was crying.
Leroy was.
Yeah.
Did he say anything specific that you remember?
I don't remember.
But he was crying. You'd mentioned that there was something over Carl's head, is that right?
At one point,
Okay, was it at this point?
I don't know, I remember, I'm pretty sure he was covered.
Covered with
Because
what?
I don't remember seeing his face, dude. I don't remember his face. I don't really want to remember the face. But I don't remember seeing his face.
Can you, and I know sometimes some of these questions seem silly, but I promise they're important. Can you describe the wire itself? I mean,
You know, like people do wire jewelry
Yeah.
wrapping. I want to say it was kind of like that, but more for like some sort of work industry thing.
so maybe a little thicker.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you said KJ was on the ground of the bathroom and Leroy left for 2 days.
No, he maybe pushed him with him. Because in my closet, which was right next to the bathroom, there was a cutout,
Right.
which led to underneath.
So that was that night or that morning, that night
That morning night, yeah.
that you helped move him into.
Yeah.
Okay. At that point, was Leroy still threatening you, or?
Yeah, he told me that in his words, we were gonna have fun if I didn't help him, which that
Why
was
did you take
his.
that to me?
He said that to me before. It's a thing for forcing me to help him.
Okay.
And he said I wasn't gonna like it. I remember him telling me that he was hurt me worse than he'd hurt me before. And I was scared. He just killed his best friend.
And I'm not trying to bring up even worse memories, but you did have a past with Leroy where he was was abusive to you, is that correct?
Yeah, a year before that, he hit me in my face, gave me a massive black eye. I mean, he's put his hands on me a few times. He's choked me. I mean, I question if he had something to do with it, or when I was. The past 2 years, there's a lot that's happened. So yeah, I was very scared of the man. The man's 10 years older than me, way bigger than me. I didn't know what he was gonna do.
When you are talking to the detective about that, and again, we don't want to bring up things just to bring them up, but it is important, especially when we're talking about what was going on through your head, how scared you really were. When you say he strangled you before, I need to kind of know if you're willing to tell us how many times, passing out, things like that.
Well, no, it wasn't. He wasn't the only man that I had domestic violences with. Leroy never choked me out, but the recent one, I just put a man away to prison because he kept choking me out. And that happened also in the past year. I mean, so as I'm high, he just killed his best friend. I was pretty scared. I was scared for my life. And then he's sitting there telling me he's gonna kill me. And all I'm thinking about is my children are about to wake up and he's making me clean up blood from his best friend. So I was pretty scared.
And you said he has assaulted you before when you said have fun? You don't have to give me all the details of that, and I want you to know the majority of the casework I do is assault cases, so you don't have anything to be embarrassed about. It's not your fault. But do you know how many times that's happened?
A lot.
Okay, specifically with him.
Like more than 10.
Okay.
I was with the man for almost 10 years, yes.
Okay.
More than 10.
And that was the phrase he would use?
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Did he end up you that night?
No. I don't think he came back after that. He left. But there was cars that were there that weren't normally there. So I don't know. Like I said, he had a whole different life that I didn't even know about. And ever since that happened, there were people always following me. So I was scared. I mean, all he ever told me was that his father was this big Iranian dude and he has pools and ties in different places. As I know none of these people.
Okay. Did anyone ever try to approach you?
Yeah. Someone ran into my car. I remember there was a bike and another car that was waiting for me. I mean, there's multiple incidents of people following me or just weird stuff happening, like me filling up my air and people being air in my tire and people being way too close to me, like abnormally. Yeah.
Okay. I'll kind of try to go. Excuse me. I'll try to get sort of back in with our timeline that we were discussing. So now KJ is under the crawl space which you described. I don't really need you to go back through describing all that because you described that to me in detail before. But he's now under the crawl space, and you said Leroy left and didn't come back for. I think initially you said a couple days. How long do you think it was?
I don't know. I really can't remember.
Okay.
I know that it was like 2 or 3 days until he covered him up.
Okay. And what did he bring with him to do that?
Like 3 bags of concrete and a bucket. I mean, he had all of his work tools already at my house, so I'm pretty sure everything he needed was already there.
Gotcha. Okay. So after he did that, and do you know about how long that took him to do that?
I don't know.
Did he say anything to you after that? What was his demeanor after all that happened?
He said that we're not going to talk about this.
Did he make any threats then?
Yeah, he told me that he'd hurt me if he found out. And he said people were watching me.
Okay.
And people knew in case I did let anyone know.
Okay. do you know, sorry, let me back up. After all that happened, I know down the road, Leroy was arrested for a different case.
Yeah, I called the cops on him.
Okay. And then I know there was that. There was an incident in Jefferson County, a few things like that. Was he still staying at your apartment
I mean,
prior to that? I guess in between when the incident with KJ happened and he ended up going.
it's like a yes and no kind of answer.
Okay.
The dude we never really slept. Obviously, we were that much smoking, so I don't.
Okay. And I'm not trying to
No, you're fine.
state the obvious, but were you smoking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely was all day long.
Okay. Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that I found out he was talking to another girl, and I told him that my landlord was coming and he needed to remove himself out of the house. And that's when I didn't let him stay over as much. It was after that. But that doesn't mean he wasn't at my house. He was constantly on my back porch all the time. Because I have 2 children, trying to differentiate how I'm going to go about all of this.
Did Leroy did he do anything with KJ's clothing, belongings, anything like that? Okay. You don't know. What about, the one I would ask the most is, do you know when KJ came in if he had a cell phone with him?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what happened to that?
He threw it.
Who threw it?
Leroy.
Leroy threw it.
He threw it on the highway, he said.
He threw it on the highway. Okay. Did he say where?
No.
I would ask after that, do you know where, I think I already asked this, but do you know where Leroy would have gone after the fact when he threw the phone?
I know that he was working with some people named Jeremy and some lady named Red. These are people I don't know.
Okay, well that goes into my next question. So
I literally knew nobody he talked to. I know that he was in Arvada. I didn't know he even knew Aurora, but he was in Aurora. He had a whole different life I didn't know about. So I don't know.
So you don't know a person named Jeremy?
No.
Okay. Do you know what happened to, we talked about this a long time ago, and I don't know if you remember this, but KJ had a car. He had that yellow Xterra. Do you know what happened to that?
I thought the Xterra was broken down and it was at some mechanic shop.
Okay. And to your knowledge, and I know I'm kind of rehashing some things here, but I'm just kind of coming back around. To your knowledge, KJ took an Uber or something to your house that night.
He what? I'm sorry.
You said he took an Uber or something to your house that night.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know, I know KJ and Leroy, you said, stole cars together.
They stole a lot of stuff together.
They stole a lot of stuff together, okay. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I mean, Leroy told me that him and KJ robbed Big Five for all of their guns. I remember, obviously, cars, because he'd sit there and boast about how he just stole this car, or here, Casey, here's a touchscreen that's out of this stolen car. Like, he tried to bring me stuff. I don't know how he got it, but, like, I had a TV stand at one point. I had a water purifier. I don't know. I'm guessing any and every way to make a dime.
Did you ever hear of an incident where Leroy, or Carl for that matter, shot at anybody during one of the crimes they were committing?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you willing to talk about that?
I mean, I wouldn't mind so much if I could get something out of all of this.
Which even then, I don't even really mind talking about it. He told me that he was trying to steal a car, and I'm guessing it's the exact case he's sitting on, and that's also why you're asking me. He told me he was trying to get a cat or the car, I don't remember. And the old man came out, and I thought Leroy said that he shot like a warning shot off. And that the old man had one of his friends by the arm, and that's what Leroy was trying to do, was scare him by shooting the gun. I'm guessing this is the same case he's sitting on. I don't know.
Was the friend KJ? And honestly, what I'm just trying to do is, it just sounds like before all this, they were really good friends and they put all this stuff together. So I'm just trying to
KJ let us sleep at his house when I was pregnant with my daughter.
Mhm.
They were good friends from what I was told. They've been friends for 20 years.
Right.
And like KJ told me once, is that he was always fixing Leroy.
Okay.
But that's the only incident. And I don't think it was KJ that they had. I think it was somebody else.
Oh, okay. I was going back to some of my notes from before. There was one thing specific, and I hate to come back to KJ being tied up and all that stuff with the thing around his neck, but he had something around his wrist. It was like a rope. Can you describe
I'm pretty
that?
sure that's what he was using to pull. Because he made me push and he was pulling with something.
Okay, when you say pull, what do you mean?
Pull his body.
Pull his body? Like to get under the crawl space?
Yeah.
Okay, but not for the hanging portion where he's hanging from the shower door?
No.
Okay. Do you know when KJ was drug under the crawl space, what was he wrapped in, or what was on him?
It was my cover to my bed. He put over him, if I'm correct.
I'm sorry?
Is that it was the cover to my mattress he put over him.
Okay. The cover to your mattress. And,
Yeah.
and Leroy said he put it over him, or he did put it over him?
Yeah, he had it laying on the ground.
When you say cover to your mattress, can you just, I mean, that can be a lot of different things.
It was a
different people.
white cover that you zip up to keep the mattress clean.
Okay, it's not like a comfort, like a zipped up.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, what you would put on your mattress before you put on sheets and things like that. Is that
Yes.
that's what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. In this you may not know the answer to. What do you think it was that killed KJ?
Strangulation?
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was sitting there pulling on something that was attached to his neck.
Okay. So you think he was alive before that?
Yeah.
Even with being hit with the
Mallet,
gun and the
whatever
mallet.
it was, yeah.
What would you be basing that on, just for the purpose of
From
our
what I've
understanding?
seen.
Okay. Can you
The
elaborate?
wire was wrapped from Leroy's hand. He was holding it, was wrapped around my shower and went to KJ's neck.
And was KJ moving at some
No.
point? Okay. All I'm trying to understand.
Why do you think he was alive before then, though?
Because he was alive when I left the room.
Which room? The bedroom?
The bedroom? Because I walked out. Walked out because it was getting, I didn't want to see, I didn't want to witness any of this. I didn't want any of this to be going on.
So the time frame between KJ getting taken to the back room and getting hit with the gun, possibly in the mallet, to when he was pulled by the neck with this cable, how long do you think that was?
From the mallet to then?
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that.
Okay. And I mean, you don't have to be exact. I mean, obviously we're talking about in the evening, at the end of the morning, but I know if you can't say, I don't want you to guess, but.
I don't know, man. Like an hour and a half.
Okay.
I really couldn't tell you.
What time do your kids normally get up for school?
Son wakes up about 6.
Around 6 in the morning is when your son normally wakes up?
Did they wake up as normal that morning?
Yes.
What did you do that morning with the kids?
I cooked them breakfast and I did what I normally do. Got them ready for the day. And made sure they didn't go back in my room.
Would they have been going to school then?
No, it was summer.
Okay, that's actually going to lead into my next question. Do you have a decent, and I don't expect you to be able to like point to a date on a calendar or anything like that, but now that we've gone through all this, do you have a decent idea when this occurred? Obviously you said it was summer.
All I remember was KJ was supposed to take me to my daughter's continuation from kindergarten, and he never came and got me. So I'm guessing it's shortly after this.
Okay. KJ or Leroy
KJ.
was supposed to come and take you to
Yeah,
continuation?
Leroy was in jail.
Oh, so you're saying it was probably shortly after
See, that
that?
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not really following that.
No, I don't really remember. This was a while ago.
Okay.
Like I said, it was a lot of drugs, so I don't really remember.
Casey, before you put to me, you tied it to when Leroy bonded out of jail and kind of tied it to that a little bit.
Yeah, it was shortly after Leroy got bonded out.
Okay, that makes sense. It was actually going to be my next question. No, it's okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that, and we're talking do you know which incident he was in jail for? That one that he bonded out?
Douglas County.
Okay, and that was when him and
KJ were found in a car, and Leroy got arrested, and KJ didn't.
Do you think that's what kind of set Leroy off?
Yeah.
Did he make statements leading up to that about KJ?
About what do you mean?
Like, so I'll just give you a little bit of, and I don't have the dates right off the top of my head, but I believe Leroy bonded out towards the end of May of 2022. I believe KJ was killed about June 4th or 5th of 2022, just based upon the information that we've looked at. So from that time frame, was Leroy making comments the whole time about KJ? Was he okay?
He was telling me not to believe him.
Not to believe KJ.
Yeah, with anything he said. That he was trying to set me and Leroy up, I guess.
That KJ was trying to set you and Leroy up.
Yeah.
And did you believe any of that?
No, because I wasn't involved in any of that.
Okay. What did you think?
Don't really know. I didn't want to pay attention to that. I mean, it's stuff I didn't think was right. I'm not a thief. I don't like thieves, so I didn't want anything to do with it. That's why I kicked Leroy out majority of the time.
Leading up to that, did KJ and Leroy still hang out the way that they used to, or at that point were they already like kind of? Okay.
They weren't friends.
They weren't friends anymore. Did KJ try to get Leroy bonded out?
He was trying to, I thought.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was ever actually him who did that.
It was me.
Oh, it was you. All right. I'm going to ask a couple like personal questions, and this is not to like get into your personal life. This is more for an understanding of the situation. Did you and KJ ever have any kind of relationship with each other?
No.
Okay. So just, would you call yourself friends?
Maybe once Leroy got arrested, but that's because I was trying to find Leroy and I didn't know who else to look at besides KJ, because I knew that they were always together.
Okay.
Would I consider us friends? No, because I knew that as soon as I left that he would talk shit about me.
KJ would?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's ever really liked me.
Okay. Did he come over to your house at all while you were a few times while Leroy was in jail?
Yeah.
And the only reason I asked that is because previously we mentioned that the kids referred to him as Uncle KJ or Uncle
They seem to really like him.
Yeah. So I wasn't
He's
sure.
funny with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't bring my own brother even around my family, so not a lot of people go around me and my kids.
Okay.
So that's why I feel like Uncle KJ was so embedded in their heads.
So he's probably for lack of a better explanation, he might have been one of the few adults that they were kind of used to seeing, other than you probably.
Yeah.
How much was Leroy involved? Obviously, he wasn't in jail.
I mean, he gave me a black eye in 2020. I stayed away from him there for a really long time, and then I moved. I want to say February. I moved into those apartments, and it took me 3 months. I was in depression, and then I called Leroy because I missed him. But besides that, he was out of the picture, and I was trying to stay away from him.
I'm sorry, I had another question. I just spaced what I was going to say. When you mentioned, and I'm sorry, I'm jumping back and forth now because we've kind of gone through everything, but when you cleaned up after KJ being killed, you said you cleaned up the blood.
Yeah.
Where was that blood?
My bedroom.
Bedroom?
And then the kids were in the bathroom.
Okay. What did you use to clean it up?
Rag.
Okay. What did you do with the rag?
Leroy told me to give it to him.
What do you think you did with it?
I don't know, but he took it with him when he left.
Okay. So was it you said a rag? Was it a lot of blood? Was it?
Yeah, like a few different rags.
Okay.
I don't know. It
Did
was
you?
a decent amount of blood.
Okay. Did you see when moving KJ under the crawl space? Did you see any noticeable bloody spots, injuries? No. Okay. The sheet that he was wrapped in, or the mattress cover, did it have blood on it?
I don't remember. If I cleaned up blood, I'm assuming.
Okay. The rope that was around his wrist, you mentioned that Leroy used that to pull him under there. Can you describe that a little bit for me?
He was in my closet and he was trying to pull him. Well, he told me to push.
Okay. So this is still upstairs, but
Upstairs, yes, I get what you mean by that, yes.
I guess, did it have more rope on it, or was it just a rope that was tied around his wrist? Or?
I don't remember.
Do you know where you got it from?
Like I said, his work tools were in my bedroom, so it's probably something for work.
Do you know, this might sound like a strange question, but do you know if KJ had shoes with him?
I don't know.
Okay. You don't remember if he took them off when he came in or anything like that?
No.
I guess I would ask this. After a while, did you notice that it was starting to smell or anything like that?
You keep asking me that. I thought the whole thing was covered in cement.
I'm sorry, I haven't asked you that today, but maybe
No, I know,
maybe I
it
asked
just-
that last time.
yeah, I've
it's
had
just
a lot of
it's a very
times that-
it's a question that I think just because
one
you're in an
time-
apartment there.
At one time, I had a gnat infestation, and that came to my mind. But no, besides that, I never smelled anything.
Okay.
I keep my house pretty clean for the most part, so I didn't smell anything.
Do you think the kids ever noticed anything like that?
No.
Did they know about the crawl space?
Potentially from previous dead body being there. And by that, when I first figured it out, it scared me because, like I told you when you arrested me, there was people that would hang out right there, and that from the outside was unlocked, and from into my house was unlocked, and everything was just unlocked, and
Which is very strange. I will admit
that
that's not
whole apartment
normal.
place is kind of strange.
I do have some things, and again, I'm not trying to make you relive things. Part of this, as I'm sure Elsa told you, is we want to get as much information. And Jeff's a very good detective. Prosecutors ask different questions sometimes, and it's more if. So first, I just want to be clear. You said, you wanted to talk about things if you would get something in for exchange. I just want to be sure that we're all on the same page. There's nothing that if you said this, we've promised you something, right? You're just doing your best to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. When you said that you didn't want the kids back in your room, help me understand why. When like after KJ's dead, is he still in your room when the kids get up and you haven't gotten him underneath there yet? Or you just didn't want them back in the room? Or help me understand why you were like, I didn't want the kids to be in my room.
I just didn't want him in the room.
Okay.
That's some pretty intense energy. I know Leroy was back there. I didn't want them in there.
Is KJ still, and where is KJ, I guess, by the time your
KJ
kids
was
wake up?
in the, I want to say it was in the crawl space.
Okay. I understand you were obviously using during this time. When this is happening, are you actively using during this incident?
Like, am I smoking while this is all
like when you leave the room, are you like, I need to get high right now?
I mean, I'm sure, yeah, I was. Like I said, we smoked all day and all night.
So do you feel like what you are telling us is to the best of your ability what actually happened, or are you not really sure about what you're telling us?
No, I'm sure that's the best of my knowledge.
Okay. Have you looked at a lot of things in this case? Has that helped you remember things, or did you remember these things? I guess I just want to make sure that there's not going to be anything where people are like, well, she's saying that because she saw all these pictures, so that's why she's saying this. Or did you see things and it helped you jog your memory? Help me understand that.
I've been sitting for 4 months. I'm obviously sober. I've been having night terrors after night terrors of reliving the exact same night over and over again. So, no, it's not from pictures. It's from what I remember.
Do you like have discovery in your cell that you can just look at all the time or anything like that? No. Can you help me understand? And I think I know the answer, but again, I can't put words in your mouth. Can you help me understand after Leroy goes to jail, he's in jail for a very long time, what made you not want to tell anybody or tell anybody about like what he made you do?
Because he told me people were going to be watching me and that people knew and that if I said anything, I would still be hurt. He said I would end up just like KJ at one point.
Did he ever say anything while he was still in custody to you? Like, did he remind you not to tell people or anything like that? Like, of a fail call or a visit or anything?
Oh, wait, what?
Like, when he was in custody, were you still talking with him at all? Would he ever, like, remind you, hey, don't tell anybody, or to other people?
No, I remember I kicked him out of my house one day, and he said that if I said anything, I was also going to go down with him. But no, that's pretty much the extent of that.
And again, it's a silly question, but what made you believe that he would follow through on that?
The dude's scary. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. I don't know. He's physically hurt me before. He just killed his best friend. Like I said, I've been in the past 2 years by 2 people I didn't know. The bandito I put to prison because he choked me out a few different times. Like, my life was kind of scary, and it was all because of the men I chose to have around me. I was tired of getting hurt, scared.
And you did think people were following you?
Yeah, I knew people were following me.
You had said previously when you talked with Jeff that Leroy made a comment like, I had to do it for my family. Did he really say that, or is that something you still didn't really want to tell police everything, or tell me more about that?
No, I remember he said that. He said that there was a text message in KJ's phone. And this text message said something about he was planning with 7 other dudes. And that's when I remember Leroy saying that he did it for us, is what he said. I think that's something he just told himself, though.
That night when KJ came over, did he do anything to physically try to harm you where someone would have to defend you physically?
Did Leroy?
Did KJ? Like, if he's saying, I had to do it for you, at any point did KJ try to assault you that night or put his hands on you?
No.
Is there anything that you saw where Leroy would have had to kill KJ for, like, in self-defense, defend his own life.
Not that I see.
If I show you a picture, can you just tell me honestly, one way or another, if this is something that you recognize?
Sure.
It's not like gross or anything.
So it's not like dead.
It's not dead.
That's my towel.
Does that help you remember anything? That you recognize this towel?
Is that what he wrapped over his face? Assuming that's probably what was wrapped over his face.
But you remember that you owned this towel?
Yeah.
Is seeing it helping you, or you just know you?
I just know I owned
that towel. Okay, but you're not sure what happened to that towel after this?
No.
Where was this towel kept?
In my laundry room, which was right outside my bedroom, with all my other towels.
Is that like a full bath towel, like beach towel type, or is that a hand towel?
I'm thinking it's like a beach towel.
Okay. I guess what my question is like a full body towel as opposed to something you wash your hands off with.
Yeah, it's like a body towel.
I did have a
No, I think I'm good for right now. I have a thing I would like to end all of this with, but you're good.
Do you remember, and I know it's been a while, do you remember the phone numbers you were using and Leroy was using at the time?
I don't.
You don't. Do you remember the carriers?
Metro.
Both?
I'm assuming, yeah. I think Leroy might have had a Verizon one.
Did Leroy use your phone from time to time?
Yeah.
Okay.
He would take my phone, but
Okay. Would he use that? I mean, did you guys not know the numbers? Is it not common for you to memorize your phone numbers? Did you go through different
no,
numbers?
the NSA really does live next door to me, and they were hacking into everything I had. So we were going through phones left and right, trying to figure out how to not get hacked into.
Who might Leroy or you get a phone? Like, who would you use as like a subscriber? Like, would you put it in your name? Would Leroy use like a friend or anything like that?
I think Leroy was using his friends.
Do you know any other friends that would have gotten a phone for him?
Like I said, I didn't know his life.
Did you use like a different name or anything for any of your phones?
I don't think I had a phone at that time.
Okay. And just in general, did you ever use like a
No, I used
pseudonym?
my name every time I had a phone. I used my name.
The only reason, and it's been in reports and everything, the only reason I'm asking is a name I believe it was currently moved, popped up from time to time. Is that a name you used?
Yes.
Okay, what was that for?
It was for Neil, because Neil was the one who kicked the door in my face, and when I finally started talking to him again, there was a protection order, so he made up the name Harley Moon.
So who is Neil?
Neil's the one who kicked the door in my face. He's not involved with Leroy in any shape or form.
Is he the one who also went to jail?
Yes, he's in prison.
He's in prison?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have anything specific.
Again, and I know we're going over things, but it's for a purpose. Because I'm kind of getting confused, and right, it's because I wasn't there. You know, like when people tell stories sometimes, you're like, I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Help me understand as far as the bathroom. So when he's in the bathroom with this wire, you said it's around his neck.
Yeah.
I know you said you don't like to think about it, but you can see KJ's face?
No.
You cannot see KJ's face.
No, I feel like that's something I would remember.
Okay. Is KJ making any noise?
No.
I know it's hard to go back through these things, but, and I think I touched on this and now we're kind of going back over it again, but if we can't see KJ's face when he's being, I hate to use the term strung up by this rope, but that's how it sounds. What do you see?
A limp body.
Okay, so is there something over his head?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I know this is very graphic, but was he seated? Was he pulled up?
He was pulled up.
Were his feet on the ground?
Yes.
Okay. So feet on the ground, but would you
I remember seeing his hand dangle, is what I remember.
Right. Did you peek in or did you see the whole body?
You see the whole body?
But that's what you focused on.
My bathroom's not that big and KJ's kind of a big dude.
Right. Where was Leroy standing when you said?
On the left of my toilet, on the left side.
And was he holding this
Wire?
kind of pulling it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Almost like he had it as a, physics isn't that good, but some kind of
Ballast or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did he do with the wire?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he probably just threw it all away.
Do you you said earlier that at some point a bag was over his head, over KJ's head, and KJ got out of the bag. Tell me more about that. Where was that happening?
Everything happened right in front of my bed. Okay. Until I guess he moved him. I wasn't there when he moved him into my bathroom.
Were you there when KJ got the bag off? Do you know how he got the bag off of his head?
He didn't get it off his head, he just popped a hole through it.
Got it. At that point, was he trying, was he holding the bag so he couldn't breathe, or what was he doing with the bag?
I don't remember.
I don't think I have anything else other than just my final question that I always ask.
Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much the whole of it.
Did you do your best to tell the truth?
Yeah.
If you, is this something that you like to think about?
No.
If you thought of something new or something like that, do you think that you would be comfortable telling Elsa at least to reach out if there was something new you thought of?
Yeah.
How much did you remember before you saw photos from Discovery? I guess that's it. How often have you looked at photos of Discovery? Discovery is the pictures that we
I think the ones they showed me the night he arrested me.
Okay. Have you seen photos from the autopsy or things like that?
No.
Okay. At least not that you can remember. Do you feel like at any point something you're not sure about anything you said today? Or that was a bad question. You've told us when you're I'm not sure. Yes. But other than that, is there anything that you've just said because you're well, I know that would make sense?
No.
Just along the same lines, and I obviously know the answer to some of these questions or this type of question, but when we spoke to you the second time, last time when we were taking you over to the jail and you gave us kind of a better account of what happened, why not give us the whole story then?
I was so scared.
Okay. And scared of what?
Leroy. Of what was going to happen to me, my safety, my kids' safety. Leroy still knows where my kids are at, and that doesn't really put me past him that he wouldn't do something to hurt them.
Also, is there anything else that you were this is something that's really important for us to know that we just didn't think to ask?
I don't think so. I think that Leroy also did a really good job of making Casey scared about what her involvement was, and so that is some hesitation as well.
And do you agree she hasn't had a lot of access to photos in this case to just sit and stare at them?
Yeah, we've gone over paper discovery, but she knows what her apartment looks like. She didn't want to look at autopsy photos of a person.
I think that's the most important. one for us, just because some of the things she said definitely match. But if she's seen it in an autopsy photo, it's not as compelling, obviously. From
A lot of
his
times
side.
clients don't have interest in looking at
That's fair. I mean, I don't want to be there, so I get it. Okay, I just want to make sure that's something, obviously, so that is helpful as far as showing that the information she gave us is true information. Well, thank you for coming. I know it's not easy, and basically at this point, what will happen is we'll kind of end this, and Elsa can definitely tell you no more, but we'll chat. We will talk with Elsa and kind of go from there on what, if we're going to give anything as far as what's called a cooperation agreement for testimony and things like that. We'll definitely talk with Elsa. Elsa will go over that with you and all of those things. Are you scared that even with a cooperation agreement, what would happen?
What do you mean?
Like if you agreed to testify against him and you would get a plea agreement that says you're getting a good plea agreement in exchange for telling the truth and testifying against him in a courtroom, are you scared?
I mean, slightly, yeah. But if it helped put him away,
I mean, you wanted your name not associated with where you live anymore if you
Yeah.
testified and things like that.
yeah. I was already thinking about changing mine and my children's last name when I got out.
So you maybe want to talk to like our witness protection team.
Yes.
And that's certainly something, if we go that route and we end up doing that, and again, I can't make promises because we're at the very beginning stages, we can do. I will tell you there's a lot of rules to be witness protection, and one of them is you cannot commit crimes. So sometimes it's just hard for people, but we definitely would set you up with them. That information's private. I don't even know where you're staying. Like it is kept under wraps. It's not something that he would get to know. So that is definitely something that we can talk about. I mean, quite frankly, if you're a witness regardless, so if you felt scared, we could have people come to the jail and talk to you about it. Now I have that happen. But I just kind of wanted to let you know where we are and what the next steps are, okay?
The detectives also conduct an interrogation with Leroy. Despite the long list of dumb ideas Leroy has had to date, surprisingly, in his interrogation for the murder of KJ, he somehow manages to make his first smart decision.
Andy, Jeff. Can you sit down? How you doing this morning? Alright. We're detectives with the Aurora Police Department or the Major Crime Section, okay? We're here to hopefully talk to you about a case we're investigating. I will let you know we're not here talking about your case that you're in custody on, okay? So it's important that you understand that. It's also important you understand we record all our interviews, okay? That's actually required to do that by the state. I know you see all the cops with body cameras on. Now, because I do have you here, I am required to read you your rights, okay? And I assume you've been through that before and you kind of understand how that works. It's because you're in custody and I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? Are you cool with that?
I don't know. Last time I talked to cops, I ended up here.
Okay. Well, would you like me to... I can explain some things to you without reading the rights, but if I'm going to ask you questions, I obviously have to read your rights.
Can you explain something?
Okay. Would you like me to get it out of the way and we can come back to it, or would you like me to just get right to the chase? I mean, I prefer, because the problem is the second I start explaining things, you're going to have questions, and then when you have questions, I can't interact unless I advised you of your rights. Okay.
Go ahead and explain something.
Okay. Well, of course, I have to rely on my technology here. All right. Now, this sounds like a silly question. Do you understand English?
Yeah, no, I mean, you said you could explain something, not read my rights.
Okay, that's fine. Just understand, though, that if we're going to start having a dialogue about things, that I'm going to have to go ahead and read your rights. Okay, you understand that? All right. You do understand that you are entitled to an attorney. I know you understand all that, right? Okay, and that you don't have to answer the questions. Okay. All right. You don't have to say anything. You can stay silent. All right. Well, if that's the case, I'll just go ahead and lay it out to you, okay? We're currently investigating a situation at the mother of your children's apartment, and that's Casey, right? Okay, and we are actually in the process of serving a search warrant there. basically, we got some information which led us to get this search warrant and go into the apartment. All right. Now, I would like to ask you some things about that. That's why we're here. Okay. Now, I've sort of skimmed over the rights, but I would like to do that. Okay, if you don't mind. Okay, then we can go from there. Okay. Now, getting back to it. Do you understand English? I know it sounds silly, but okay. Can you read English? Okay. All right. I'm just going to read these verbatim from the form. All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney prior to questioning and to have your attorney present during questioning if you desire. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you for your charge prior to questioning. And I'm just going to throw in the caveat, you probably already have an attorney associated with your case in Jefferson County. I know I mentioned it before, but again, it's not related to that, okay? Do you understand your rights? With these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
Maybe.
Well, how about this? I kind of don't like the way that they do this. I wish this was before this question, but this kind of gives you a little bit of because I understand the apprehension. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. So that means we can start talking and you can exercise these rights anytime you want. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, does that sound all right? Yeah. Okay. Would you mind signing this? As a funny little, these Apple pens here, but it's no different than doing paper. We'll just have you sign right there. Oh, yes, this one here, sir. Oops. Oh, sorry. Technology. There we go. And the date is the 5th of April, 2023. Okay. Sign here. And just I know you go by Leroy. Your first name is Haskell. Is that how I pronounce that? Okay.
Is that a family name? Haskell?
It's my grandpa's name.
Okay.
What is the background on that? What country is it from? Oh, okay. Can you confirm your date of birth for me?
6/20/84.
Thank you.
Are they from the South? Everybody I've ever known named Haskells, like from Virginia, Tennessee area.
I think my grandma's from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Okay. Don't quote me on it.
Okay.
Okay, I apologize. I just had to fill out this form here. Okay, got that out of the way. Well, as I mentioned, we're investigating a situation over at Casey's house. What I would like to do to start with is, if you don't mind, I'll just show you a photo of somebody and tell me if you can tell me who it is. Does that sound okay?
Yeah,
Okay, who is it?
it's KJ.
KJ? Who is KJ to you?
Yeah, he was one of my friends. I haven't seen him for about a year.
Okay.
Last time me and him talked, he said he was going to go back to Arizona.
Okay.
He was going to leave.
Okay. Well, he's been missing, just like you said. We're trying to find out what's going on with him, okay? So, you said the last time you saw him. Do you know about when that was?
I don't. It's been a while, like a year.
Okay. So, would it be fair to say, I know you guys had some contacts, like with police and stuff, way back in Castle Rock. Does that sound accurate? And again, I'm not asking questions about that case. I'm not concerned about the case of Castle Rock. But I actually.
What's those have to do on girls going on something?
Okay. Well, we're basically investigating his disappearance. Okay. We're the major crime section. We investigate missing persons and homicides. Okay. So we're
investigating. The fact that I was in here for talking to a cop.
I'm sorry?
As in the fact that I'm going to be in charge of something I didn't do for talking to a cop, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I literally was helpful I talked to, and I'm going to face the majority of those charges.
Okay.
Something I didn't do. So.
Well, I don't have anything to do with that, okay?
I know, but still, I think I'm done. Right?
I think it's important, Bud, that you understand that you're not, it doesn't start this investigation.
That's fine. I think I'm still done.
You need to talk to him.
No, I don't, hear me out. You don't have to say anything, just hear me out. Right? He talked to you about the search warrant. We did have that search warrant yesterday. Right? We know where it is. Right? We've talked to a lot of people and also have knowledge about it. And I can tell you that right now all fingers are pointing to you. This is your opportunity because what happened to KJ and where he is and how he's buried, that's not a one-person job, right? There's other people. And unfortunately, if you're not the one that talks, and if you don't get your side of the story out, then what we have is we have the physical evidence. We have all the information you led us up to finding KJ, the physical evidence, and everybody pointing their fingers at you, which means you take the brunt of everything, right? So I know you're already in here on the attempt murder charge. We have enough information right now to file first-degree murder charges on you. So now you have an attempt murder charge and you have a first-degree murder charge out of Arapahoe County, right? This is your opportunity to say what everyone else is saying isn't the way that it went down, right? I don't know, maybe you didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe you came home and somebody else had already killed him and you guys, what do we do, AJ? Let's put it here.
As a result of the overwhelming evidence, Leroy was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Due to the attempted murder charge he was already facing at the time of his questioning for this crime, he was also given an additional 16 years. He won't be eligible for parole until 2066. As for Casey, she pleaded guilty to being an accessory to a crime and received a deferred judgment, meaning if she meets certain requirements, she likely won't serve any time behind bars.